Hello. In this video, I'll share some parenting tips with you. The first and foremost important thing for children is safety. Every parent is concerned about safety of their children. So what we need to do, make your home and surroundings safe for children. How do we do that? Cover the sharp corners and edges of all furniture and installations with some soft material. Remove latches or bolts from lower portions of doors and windows so that children don't lock themselves inside or outside accidentally. Keep all sharp things and other harmful things out of the reach of children. As soon as the children start speaking words, help them learn names and phone numbers of parents and residence address so that in case of need the child can tell anyone the name of the parents, their phone numbers, address. Through stories, make them realize why they should not interact with strangers. Because if you simply tell them do not interact with strangers, they may not understand the need of it. But through various stories, you can make them realize how harmful this can be. Teach them to say no and help loudly if they are uncomfortable in any situation. And very important, listen to every detail children tell carefully and calmly. These are very important for the safety of the child. Then second most important thing is love. We all love our children, don't we? But express love for children by playing with them, by spending quality time with them. Quality time means when you are spending time with them, your 100% concentration should be on that interaction with them. Listening to them and observing them with patience. Don't delegate these duties to anyone else, paid or unpaid helpers, because no one else can replace and provide the love and care that the parents can give. Don't pamper them by substituting your presence with presents, gifts. Some parents think, okay, we are not able to give sufficient time to the child, so let's compensate by giving expensive gifts and expensive things. No, those expensive things, expensive gifts can never replace your love and care that the child needs, your attention that the child needs. This will only pamper the child. So don't pamper them like this. The best gift children need is company of parents, their attention. Sweets and toys should be given within limits, very less, as means of pleasure and not as means of love. We need to keep in mind. Be a friend of your children. Children understand love through parents' everyday actions of loving care and friendliness, not by mere saying that I love you. Money cannot buy everything, but and surely not the love of children. Remember that. We should learn to talk to children by putting ourselves in their situation and play with them the way they wish to play. Do these things and your children will love you back very much. Third is non-violence, very important. Don't scold or beat children. Whenever they commit any mistake or misbehave, politely and firmly explain them how they are wrong and why they should or shouldn't behave in a particular manner. Tell them what can be the consequences of such mistake or behavior for themselves as well as for others. If you will tell them in this manner, if you will explain them logically, they will understand. Try to develop positive behavior through logic and respect, not by fear. Don't create fear of ghosts or frightful creatures in the mind of children who make them do or not to do something. Many parents have this habit, भूत आ जाएगा और some पुलिस पकड़ के ले जाएगी अगर ऐसा नहीं करोगे. Please don't do such things. Instead, tell them the benefits of doing the thing that you want them to do. Tell them the harms of doing those things which you do not want them to do. Children should obey parents out of respect, not fear. You have to lead by example. Next is self-dependence. As far as possible, make children self-dependent. Instead of doing things for them, let and encourage them to try doing things on their own. And guide and help them if they are not able to do so. Parents' responsibility is to help move children from dependence to self-dependence. Don't make them dependent parasites. Make them strong, independent individuals. Children need to be made self-dependent and given good values. They need to be taught to help parents in household and to be involved in age-appropriate household chores periodically from age of 5, even if domestic helpers are available. Some parents pamper their children by not taking any help from them and not involving them in any household chores. That should be avoided. Doing that, you are not showing your love and care for them, you are spoiling their life, making them dependent. Such children become completely dependent on others. In other words, they just become parasites and they are unable to take care of themselves and of their parents later in life. Lead by example. Parents are role models of the children. They are the first role models of the child. We should follow the right values and behavior ourselves. Only then the children will carry on those right values and behavior. Children are keen observers. They learn and imbibe values and behavior that they see. Avoid criticizing anyone in front of children, whether it is your spouse or other family members or anyone for that matter. Children are keen observers. They learn and imbibe values and behavior that they see. Children learn many things just by watching parents. So we need to learn to behave ourselves. Always tell children the truth. Otherwise, they will stop trusting. Trust them and maintain their trust. In fact, this is the mool mantra of any successful relationship. Trust each other and maintain each other's trust, isn't it? Next tip, do not pressurize. Do not pressurize children for anything, even for eating or studying. Because children have a tendency to avoid such things that they are pressurized into. They start hating those things for which they are pressurized. And we don't want them to hate eating. We don't want them to hate their studies. Tell them the benefits of eating nutritious food, of studying properly, and leave them free to decide when and how much they want to have. Hunger and thirst are natural phenomenon. If children are not given any junk food and they are not given any excessive milk or any other thing, biscuits, snacks, etc., and not pressurized to have nutritious food even, they will themselves ask for nutritious food after some time if they have only that option available. Try it for at least 24 hours. Similarly, if they are not allowed to use electronic gadgets like phone, TV, laptop, etc., until they complete their homework, they will complete their work. Next is commitment. We should not say or promise anything that we do not intend to do. If we do so, if we say anything, if we promise anything, then we must try to fulfill it also. Be firm and polite. If children insist on some unreasonable demand, throw tantrums, don't give in to such demands. If the children are making any unreasonable demand, if they are throwing tantrums, don't give in to such demands, as it will make them stubborn and dominating. At the same time, don't scold them for such demands. Say a firm no and stick to it with patience. After a few such incidents, children will realize and understand that a no means no. Let the child cry, let the child show his or her anger for several minutes, maybe hours, doesn't matter. Just keep patient and stick to your no. Slowly, the child will start understanding that when my parent says no, it really means no. Any tantrums, any crying, any emotional drama is not going to make my parent agree to my unreasonable demand. Say no sometimes, even for things that you can easily provide. Very important. Even if we can afford to satisfy the child's demands, sometimes we should say no and give a satisfactory reason thereof. It is important that they learn to accept no. They need to learn that they cannot always get whatever they want in life. This will help them in accepting rejections and failures as parts of life, because we all know that we all have to face rejections, failures in life, in several stages of life. If the child has a habit of getting everything he or she asks, then the child feels very uncomfortable, very upset, very depressed later in life whenever the child faces any failure, any rejection. So, from early childhood, we need to give them the experience of rejections and failures also by saying no to their simple demands, also sometimes. Whenever they talk about other children having things they don't have them, that they don't have, tell them about many other children who do not have the things that they have. So counter their example with opposite examples, real life examples. Show them the poverty around, show them the underprivileged. Tell them everyone can't have everything. and they should be satisfied and thankful for whatever they have. Give appropriate right answers. Whenever the child asks any question, just do not snub the child. Don't disturb me. What nonsense. Go and play. Please do not do that. Whenever child asks any question, give them appropriate right answers with patience. They may have a long chain of questions. Just keep answering. This is children's way of learning. If parents don't answer, then what will happen? The child will not stop seeking the answer. The child will stop asking, will stop learning. And the worst thing is, the child will still be seeking the answer from other sources. The child may indulge in harmful experimentation to get the answers he or she is seeking, and may seek the answers from other sources where they may get inappropriate or wrong answers, resulting in long learning. Of course, we do not want that. So why not give them correct answers ourselves? Make children think by thinking up by thinking up right questions that enable them to find their own solutions. Explain the reason behind every no. Many a times parents just say no for certain things, but they do not explain the reason behind it. If you explain the reason, the child will understand and most probably obey your instructions. Instead of when you do not explain the reason of it, they think that parents just keep saying no, they without any reason. The child thinks that you obviously, when the parents say no for anything, they have very good reasons for that. But when they do not tell those reasons to the child feels it is injustice. I am being stopped from doing anything just like that without any reason. So before saying no for anything, explain the reason behind it. A no without a reason may make the children curious to try out the thing or activity being denied in the absence of parents, or sometimes even in the presence of parents. An interesting way to explain the reason is through stories. These stories may be real or they may be imaginary. If they are real, better. Otherwise, even imaginary stories can be used to explain the reason behind whatever is being told to the child. Nutrition. Give nutritious food, fruits, vegetable, pulses, etc. to the children from the age of 6-7 months onwards. Avoid packaged or processed baby foods which are claimed to be very nutritious in the advertisements, but actually they are not. Avoid junk food. Even if the children demand chips, chocolates, etc., give these things occasionally. Let us say 2 such things per week. But for even that, they have to earn it by first eating nutritious meal. Then even then they should be given a small pack of chips or chocolate, not a big one. Do not compare your child with anyone else. With your other child, with children of others, no, with no one. Never compare a child with another. Every child is unique. Someone is good in certain things, the other is good in some other things, and so on. Comparison and competition create tension, and it develops superiority or inferiority complex in children. Both of them are negative and harmful. Do not instill the feeling of competition in children. Even when the children compare themselves or try to compete themselves with others, tell them they should not do so. They should just enjoy doing various activities and try to put in their best efforts without comparing and competing with others. Positions, ranks do not matter. What matters is that they enjoy learning, that they enjoying whatever activities they do. Physical activities. Take children to park in the morning and evening. Let them enjoy the swings, slides, other rides. Play with them. Encourage games involving physical activities and discourage games on any electronic devices. Keep children away from electronic gadgets as far as possible. These are very harmful for both the physical as well as psychological development of the child. If children insist on use of electronic gadgets, fixed time duration for the use of such gadgets. Let us say 30 minutes of TV in a day or whatever you decide. Appreciate. Appreciate good behavior and display of good values by children. Appreciation helps build a powerful and self-confidence in children. A powerful self-confidence in children. Avoid criticizing your children in order to prevent a void in their self-esteem. Whenever they do anything wrong, explain them politely why it is wrong and what can be the harm, what can be the consequences. Giving and forgiving are effective tools in parenting. Remember this. Dealing with pain. Whenever the children get hurt, we should not lose our calm. Do not panic. If parents panic, the children will feel the pain even more. Don't scold the children. Just give the necessary first aid, treatment, and when the pain subsides, explain politely what care should be taken in future to avoid such injury. Whenever children get hurt because of their own mistake, tell them to understand and rectify their mistake because of which they got hurt, instead of putting the blame on other things or persons. Give children the freedom to learn from mistakes and grow. For example, if a child, while walking, falls down, let's say the child collides with a table and falls down. Many parents will just do hop to the table. They will enact as if they are beating the table for hurting their child. Whereas you know very well it was the fault of the child. The table did not move. The child did not see the table in the way properly, did not control his or her speed properly, and hence collided with the table and fell. So do not, if you just uh, bang the table and as if you are beating the table for hurting the child is getting a wrong message. Such children, what are they learning? They are learning that not to accept their own mistake, but to blame others for their mistake, which is a very negative value. So when the child gets hurt in this way, first of all, you just console the child, give any first aid if required. When the child is calm, then tell the child, see, it was your mistake. You were not careful while walking or running, because of which you collided with the table, and then you fell down. So be careful in future. Many children are using many electronic gadgets these days. Most of these electronic gadgets come with parental control options, which many parents do not even know. And even those who know, some of them do not care to use them. Do install parental control apps, softwares in mobile phones, computers, and other gadgets to prevent any harmful use of such devices by the children. Set time limits for TV, computer, mobile phone, etc. usage per day, and better link them with their work or study. For example, each page of written work and the child gets to see 15 minutes of TV or gets to use the computer or mobile phone for 5 minutes. Many children are using phones, tabs, laptops. Many parents are not even aware of what all children are doing on these devices, what all they are watching, what all they are reading. The solution of this problem comes from technology itself. Use parental control apps to monitor and control the use of such devices by your child. Make sure the child creates a child account on Google, Microsoft, whichever operating system you are using, entering the right age. Install parental control apps like Google Family Link, Microsoft Family, etc. on all the devices, phones, tabs, laptops, computers, televisions. There are parental control settings also in most devices. Use them. Install parental control apps on your device also. Make your account as parent account and the child, and link the child's account with your account. Now you will be able to restrict child screen time, allow or disallow particular apps, set time limits for each app, restrict type of content child can access, etc. Moreover, you can see reports of what all the child has been doing on his or her device. Teach concepts logically. While helping children with studies, always explain them various concepts and the logic behind them in mother tongue. Then ask them to solve the problems or answer the questions on their own. Guide them, give hints if they are not able to do on their own. But do not give the answers or solutions directly. Otherwise, they will stop making even the effort of trying to solve on their own, which is a must. This will develop in them the skills of rational thinking, understanding, analysis, synthesis, and the right way of learning instead of spoon feeding. And they'll be able to apply the knowledge learned very well. Decide mutually and don't contradict. Both the parents should decide the rules, permissions, limits for the children mutually and should not contradict each other, that one parent says something and the other says something else. That should not happen. The children are very smart. They start using that to their advantage. It should not happen that one parent has said no for something and the other parent allows that thing. Such incidents make children manipulative and the parents, both of them, lose their respect in the eyes of child. Anger management. Children's anger should not be countered with parents' anger, first of all. If children throw toys or things in anger, keep those toys or things out of their reach. for a day or two and tell them they cannot play with those toys or things because they misuse them. Similarly, if children beat anyone, including parents, in anger, don't take it lightly. Hold their hands or legs for 5 to 10 minutes firmly. Just hold, not very tight, firmly, and tell them it hurts when they beat anyone. And their hands, legs will be released only after a few minutes since they have misused their hands or their legs. This way, the child will gradually learn not to misbehave, not to do such things in anger. Sorry. Use a timetable. From the age of 5, make a balanced timetable of child's choice in discussion with the child, mentioning time for exercise, meals, subject-wise study, play, TV, computer, mobile phone use, going to the park, rest, etc. Everything. And paste it at a place where the child will see it a lot. And remember, it is not a showpiece. Make the child follow it. Don't keep study periods continuously for long hours. Keep study time continuously for about 35 minutes, let's say, and then about 25 minutes play or rest. In this manner. Never keep TV or computer or mobile phone time in between two study periods, because all these gadgets further strain the child's eyes and brain. School issues. Sometimes the child doesn't want to go to school. He or she may say so directly, or the parents may feel that he or she is pretending ill health frequently. In case of illness, consult a doctor. There may actually be some health problem. Ask why not. If someone is troubling the child in any way, discuss with the class teacher and try to resolve the issue. See that the child's work is complete. It may be that the child is afraid of any scolding or punishment by the teacher when the work is incomplete. Talk to the class teacher about it. Maybe she or he knows something that the child is not telling, and then with the advice of the teacher, try to resolve the issue. If any teacher is pressurizing the child for better performance in academics or any other activity, talk to that teacher and request firmly not to pressurize the child. If none of the above reasons are there and the child is generally not interested in going to school, let him or her take leaves, but don't allow him or her to use any electronic gadgets. No TV, no computer, no phone on such days when the child takes unnecessary leave from school. In a few days, the child will start getting bored at home and would like to go to school. Appropriate age of adulthood. When the child reaches the age of 15, in my opinion, stop treating them as children. Let the child take all the decisions on his or her own. Let the child do most of the activities himself or herself. Also involve the child actively in all household decisions, and let the child handle household activities independently, like getting repair work done, by an electrician, plumber, mason, like buying and bringing groceries, other material for home. Parents should only guide or suggest when the child asks for such guidance or suggestion, or when the child is doing something very wrong. Child should be provided own phone, laptop, etc. also, in my opinion, only after the age of 15, not before that. Please do not give vehicles requiring license to children before proper age. Before getting proper license made, after attaining the required age, they should not be given such vehicles. This is very dangerous. Many parents do not realize it and they start giving vehicles to the children even before the legal age of driving, which is very dangerous for the safety of your child also as well as for others. Any accident or legal action may result in serious injuries. It may result in legal complications and it may spoil the child's future prospects. Moreover, when the child gets such a vehicle before appropriate age and without appropriate training, the child becomes a careless driver forever. Why? Because the child knows that I am driving the vehicle without a valid license, which is illegal. So why should I care for any other rule as well? And the child starts breaking all the rules and becomes a rash and negligent driver forever. Vocational courses. Many interesting vocational courses are available after class 8. Some are available after class 8, some are available after class 10, some are available after class 12. If the child is not interested in academics, search for vocational courses on internet and consider the child doing the course of his or her choice rather than continuing pure academics. These courses are generally job oriented and the children not doing well in academics generally do very well in these courses and also start working and earning very soon after completing the course. That's all. Thank you.